I'm right here in Bmore outside the bank. If you got an issue with that, come see me. I'm about that. Big trust. Woo woo.
What is the signal?
It's just the universal trust signal.
That's the
man.
universal trust signal?
Universal trust signal.
When did it start?
Man, Lamar, man, he just been saying trust, like, you know, it's like kind of I'm with you, you know what I mean? And I just put the kind of the big on it because we do everything big. So he'd be like, trust. I'd be like, big trust.
That's one of our favorites, Mark Ingram, now released by the Baltimore Ravens, waived yesterday. It's unusual for teams to waive players during this window because nothing can be done with those players until after the Super Bowl. Chris, I got a lot of Bills fans that have been clamoring with the question of whether or not they can add Mark Ingram to the roster.
Right.
No, nothing can happen until after the Super Bowl. The waiver claims get processed after the Super Bowl, and usually we see these moves made after the Super Bowl. There are different reasons why it would happen, and I've heard different theories. Ingram wanted it because he wants someone to claim his contract. Nobody's going to claim a $5 million contract for a running back on the wrong side of 30. And also, Ingram was just one of several Ravens who have been waived in recent days. The idea is you score points with potential free agents by treating your players that you aren't going to bring back this way and letting them go as early as possible so they can plan their next move. So different reasons for doing it, unconventional, but maybe it's going to be the start of a new trend where when we see a team eliminated from the postseason, it'll just start waiving guys that it knows it's not going to bring back the next year.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, and it does make sense to get into, you know, the good graces of players and veterans to have that does spread throughout the league. You know, when it does come down to a guy maybe deciding between a team or two, man, he might fall back on, hey, Mark Ingram or my other friend who played there, man, he said Baltimore treated him right and did him right, you know, in every which way along the way. So I guess, but I was wondering the same thing. Why was this, what is this new trend of releasing players? But I guess that's it. There's no other reason behind it, is there?
No, and it's just the Ravens, really, for the most part, who are doing it on a widespread basis. I saw a couple of other guys who were waived, whether from injured reserve or whatever. But, yeah, there's no benefit to any other team. You cannot claim any of these players, Mark Ingram, RG3, anyone else. It doesn't happen until after the Super Bowl, but it does give them a full and fair opportunity, beyond full and fair opportunity, more than full opportunity for everyone to know they're going to be available. Not that we didn't know Mark Ingram was going to be available. Again, the $5 million salary, he's disappeared from the rotation. It was Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins at the running back position, and then Lamar Jackson contributing his skills as a runner, that three-headed monster that rolled up 404 rushing yards against the Bengals at one point. That's why Mark Ingram isn't going to be there. And the moment they drafted J.K. Dobbins, we knew this was coming. I didn't expect Ingram's participation to drop so dramatically this past season, but we knew it was one more year for Ingram in Baltimore, and I think he knew it too, Chris.
I think so. He's smart enough. He's been around. His dad played in the NFL, had that bad high ankle sprain early in the year, right? That really kind of set him back, and you know, we never really – we saw him get back out there a few times in a few games. He did not look quite the same or as explosive. It looked like he was probably still dealing with that high ankle sprain, which can be really tough on running backs. But then, totally disappeared. One, because of what you said. They got two good other running backs. And then the other thing is I think they realized, wait, we got two good other running backs and really a third in Justice Hill who's not that horrible. And then, wait, Mark Ingram getting up there in years, been in lots of car crashes, 31 years old, like you said. We play him a lot at the end of the year, and he gets a bad injury. Then we're on the hook for that $5 million bonus you're talking about and everything. And I think they just said, the hell with it. We're not going to play him. We don't want to deal with it. We know where the future's going. He's a professional. He'll understand, and, you know, good for everybody.
And we'll see where he lands. We mentioned this yesterday. This is something to keep in mind as we creep toward the start of the new league year on March 17, when we will find out what the salary cap will be for 2021. It will be no lower than $175 million. I'm told 180 is the number to keep an eye on. If it's 180, which would be almost $20 million less than it was in 2020, teams are going to have to do major surgery to their budgets. These teams have been constructed with the idea, Chris, that the salary cap goes up 5 to 10% every year. You build that in. You don't budget for a 20% drop for crying out loud, or 15% or whatever it is. Yeah, you know who we mean. But it's a significant drop. You budget for growth. So what's going to happen is you're going to have guys who are making a crap load of money. Almost said a different word. Sorry in advance for not, well, I didn't say it, so I shouldn't apologize.
No, you don't need to.
But I came dangerously, I can't tell you how close I came. But you have the guys who are making a lot of money. And then you've got the rookies who have that fixed income, which is very affordable. It's that middle class that's going to suffer. It's Mark Ingram, who maybe last year, if he had hit the market at the outset, would have gotten $3 or $4 million. This year, he's going to get the minimum if he gets that.
Yeah, I mean, yes, those guys, 8 years and above, maybe looking to, strike one more time for that second, third contract. Yeah, they're not necessarily in trouble, but they're in trouble in the fact that they're not going to get anything, what the market has led for that type of player the last few years. Yeah, I mean, I'm between that, middle-class guys like you're talking with Mark Ingram or other veterans who are trying to find teams. Hey, somebody similar to me made $10 million a year. Well, this is a different year. You're going to have to settle for $4 or $5 million. Those are going to be tough decisions for some of these veterans to make or deal with. I mean, and then also, too, Mike, I mean, how much do you think restructuring the top contracts on your team's going to come into play as we get closer and closer to having to deal with this?
I think there will be plenty of that because you're going to kick the can into future years where there will be more cap space available. The TV deals still in progress, unlocking more money for the NFL and its teams and the salary caps. So it's going to be a challenge for a lot of these teams. And we don't yet have that on our radar screen because it's down the road a little bit. But these teams know what's coming. And I think that's possibly one of the messages the Ravens are trying to send by removing all of these various Band-Aids in one quick motion. We don't have time to worry about dumping guys that we already know we're going to dump. Let's just do it now while we're in a lull because we're going to have plenty of other stuff to deal with when February and March roll around.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.